Hi everybody, my name is Kim and these are the Wayrider Chronicles. Today I would like to propose a supplement to my last video, which discussed state capture and the migration of the large segments of the African population to continental Europe and the USA. Figures published today from Mexico's Interior Department, they were actually published at the weekend, show that almost 60,000 migrants arrived from Africa in 2023 into Mexico, obviously. A huge jump from the previous year when 6,500 made that journey. So we're talking about migrants, African migrants arriving in Mexico primarily to travel up Mexico to enter the United States. This person said, people leave their countries for many different reasons, and it tends to be complex. Anything from generalized violence to extreme poverty to political upheaval. And of course, there is also the effect of climate change and natural disasters. Note that last sentence, which is nearly a throwaway phrase or sentence at the end of the quote, saying, of course, climate change and natural disasters will have a role. This is interesting because this particular quote was picked up by an online American news publication, which, as a lot of publications do, decided to emphasize one aspect of that quote, where they have and this online news publication has a snippet, I would call it, within one of their regular newsletter updates that says, I quote, although many are fleeing violence or extreme poverty, some of them are leaving Africa because of the effects of climate change. The head of the UN Migration Agency's Mexican office told the BBC, raising the likelihood of higher migrant flows in the future. Seriously, climate change? Why emphasize climate change in this context? Yes, it is likely to be, in the future, a driver of migration because of the effects of, we'll just take Sahara. The climate change is driving the encroachment of the Sahara Desert further and further into West Africa. So this will have an effect on the productivity of the agricultural based economies in West Africa, and eventually it is having an effect. It will have an effect, but it's not the primary driver, and it should not be emphasized or as one of the main drivers for migration, which turns into illegal immigration into your countries. If we take the West African countries of Guinea, Senegal, the Cameroons and Mauritania, most of them have current ongoing political cling-to-power leaders. Mauritania is slightly different as it's part of the EU's African initiative instigated by the Italian government led by Giorgia Meloni to supply give them money to these countries. This giving of money is in order for these countries to implement policies, economic policies obviously, to grow their economies and stop migration. Although whether throwing more money at existing corrupt African political elites is a good idea, that'll be the subject for another video. The main thrust of this video is I find it disheartening that certain news organizations decide to throw African migration into the climate mix, the climate change mix, when we all know that all of those countries have ongoing, or a large number of those countries have ongoing political corruption issues that are the main driver for this illegal immigration, which perhaps now is going to be taken more seriously by the Americans. I'm talking about the illegal Africa, or the African illegal immigration, seeing as this is an illustration, these Mexican statistics of an increasing number of West Africans mainly moving into America. We all know, with the American elections coming up, the southern border migration, illegal immigration policies is a very hot button subject. That is the Wake Radio Chronicles, and my name is Ken. See you guys.